Okay, this is the first time I am filming using my phone rather than my camera. I have no idea where to look. I feel like I'm looking off into space. Maybe now I'm looking at you guys. I think I probably am. All right, so I am at the farmer's market. I'm here alone. Peter and I just went to Mass. We did Saturday daily Mass, and then he has an organization group meeting. I guess they're cutting some trees possibly, and maybe putting up some sound baffles. I don't know if that's the right sound, deadening baffles, something like that in the church basement. I think that's what they're doing. So anyway, let's go to the farmer's market and see what we can find. As I've mentioned before, we did not plant a garden this year. There were just a lot of other things going on. So no garden, but I do have 3 tomato plants, which actually have been giving us just enough tomatoes for some fresh eating. Well, it was one stop and I'm already back to the car. I spent all my money on green beans. I just went for it. I was like, you know what? I want to can green beans this year. We don't have a garden, so that's what we're doing. These are so good. So good. Maria's taking a little break. What are you making?
Shake.
Is that vanilla or is that with the root beer ice cream?
Root beer.
With the root beer
and vanilla.
Oh, sounds good. So we just finished the 10-pound bag of beans. When I say finished, I mean we just snipped them. We have an 8-pound bag left to go, but we're going to take just a little break because that 10-pound bag took over an hour to snip, although we moved the chair into the shade and it was nice. It was nice. Here's the 8-pound bag. I'm going to get that taken outside. But I did want to go over by Warren. He's actually working on we still call it the ice house. He's called it that since the beginning. We've tried to call it a little, like some different names every once in a while, like maybe the cabin or the tiny house or whatever, but we just always go back to ice house because originally we thought it was going to be more for like ice fishing and we were going to put it on like in an area. Anyway, we were going to put it on the edge of some ice, but we think we're changing our mind on that. But here's our little setup. So that is actually 10 pounds of green beans all snipped. And I think what I'll do actually is probably kind of thinking through this if I want to continue snipping or maybe get these packed in jars, get them into the canner, and then while those are canning, then come over and start snipping again. That probably would be best. That seems like that would make sense so that like the canner is going while I'm still snipping, because it's going to take a while. I actually have 2 pressure canners now. It's going to take a while to get all these through because this is a lot of beans. I'm guessing this is going to be do you guys think it's going to be 15 quarts?
Well, it's coming.
It is. It's coming along.
Yeah.
Do you have more blades?
I think I do. I need to get a sharper blade. That one's a little dull. But yeah, it's coming. Just getting the eaves done on this end. Then I gotta put the steel on the eave cap and Finish out the ridge cap.
Okay, so I see. So the steel was already all up on the roof. I guess.
It's just the ridge cap and the end trim.
Right. So you have to cut all those pieces off.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's when you'll put the ridge cap on after you have the.
After I have the
gable trim on, then the ridge cap.
Last piece of ridge cap goes on. Then the roof will be done. And I see there's one screw I missed down there that I gotta climb up and put in. I don't know how I missed that spot.
Who knows?
Obviously I did.
It was probably when you were getting ready for a cold snack.
Probably. Probably.
All right. Well, that takes a long time.
It takes a long time, yeah. I know. Nothing happens fast.
I'm like, I feel like you've been at this for a long time.
Well, a few hours.
Yeah.
I mean, half the battle is getting all the crap out of the shed to organize and know what you need.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I haven't worked on this for a few months.
Yeah.
So to get back in the groove, it's like, all right, what tools do I need? Where did I put my saw? Where did I put my screws? All that.
Exactly.
It's coming together. I want to get it in the woods so that we can start doing the finish work inside, and we got to do the outside siding yet, but
yeah,
that'll happen. Get the windows in. All takes time.
All 18 pounds of beans have now been snipped, and boy, it's 2:30 in the afternoon already. So I have all these jars. They are clean. I'm going to use my little jar funnel here, and I'm going to get the beans. I raw pack or cold pack. You may hear those words used interchangeably. So raw pack means I'm not cooking the green beans beforehand. I'm going to get those packed in here. I'll use a little plunger pusher, wooden pusher that I have, and I will get those beans packed in there as tight as possible. And I believe, I'm going to check on it, but I'm pretty sure it's a 1-inch headspace. All right, all the jars have been filled. I have 3, 6, 7, 11, 12, 14, 16, 17. I am thrilled. I thought it was going to be 15. Warren said, he's like, what do you think? Are you going to have 10? And to have 17 is awesome. But guess what? I put everything into the regular mouth jars, and I only have 9 lids. I did just call Dollar General though, and she said they are fully stocked. So I'm going to have to make a run over there, but I wanted to just kind of show you guys what I'm going to do next. I have them filled with water with a 1-inch headspace, and I'm going to take a non-metallic utensil, slide that down. I like to, what you're trying to do is just release any air bubbles. Sometimes a little bit more water, like see that? I can actually put a little more water in this one now. I have a vinegar soaked cloth. I'm going to wipe the rim. I'm going to push those green beans back down just to make sure my lid is, or my layer is just right. Put on a lid and screw on a ring, just fingertip tight, and this will be ready for the canner. So let me get these done here, and then we will go to Dollar General. All right, I'm at Dollar General now, and what? Ghosts? Goblins? It is way too early. I am not ready for this. Jack-o'-lanterns? I am not ready. I rarely shop at Dollar General on a Saturday, but they always do this, like if you spend $25, you get $5 off. You have to have like their app or you have to have a receipt or something like that that has that coupon on it. So I pulled up my app, and actually today it's $40. You get $10 off. So they're having a little bit of an extra special deal today. So I am definitely going to get some paper towel and toilet paper and some paper plates. Need some hamburger buns. And I'm still looking for the canning stuff. I'll get to it. I like this Golden Harvest brand. I've used this a number of times before, but I have hundreds of rings. So they have these lids, True Living. I mean, I feel like they're probably all made in like the same plant. I don't know though. I'm gonna go for it though. I'm gonna get 6 boxes of these and hope they're good lids. I'm home from Dollar General, and actually I was there so long that Warren was getting worried about me. I said, but you know what? Dollar General, I love that store. I like to go down every aisle, which is what I did. So anyway, like I said in the store, they had the $10 off of 40. This just for today, which I thought was that was a good deal. Normally their Saturday deal is $5 off 25. So I got the toilet paper that I like for our main bathroom, got the toilet paper for the other bathroom, and then I did pick up some of these paper towels. I should tell you that this was also a deal. So if you spent $25 they had a whole list of different brands. Angel Soft was one of them, Sparkle, and Dixie plates and cups and bowls, that kind of thing. If you spent $25, you got $5 off of that as well. And then I did get the canning lids that I needed. I picked up 6 boxes. They had a 50-cent off coupon for ibuprofen, and we were getting low on that, so I picked that up. Hamburger buns, just regular price because we're having burgers for supper tonight. And then I found these candles. This was, I mean, just like on the whim, or what do you call that? And just a whim purchase. But they had everything green dot was buy one get one free. So I got both of these candles for $5. And I just thought that they were really, really pretty. So hopefully those, I mean, they smell good, not burning, but you know how that is when you get a candle. Sometimes you light it and it's just a little different. I did pick up some of this black silk coffee. They had a $1.50 off, and so that was a good, took this down to a decent price. It's a small canister, but I just figured, you know, get it when it's on sale. And then I have been wanting to get some new dinnerware because our plates, it was a set of 12 plates, like dinner plates. It had the salad plate, and it had the, I guess what they call a cereal bowl, and I want to say something else came with that. Oh, and then like these little mini bowls too. Anyway, it was a set for 12. We are down on the plates to 6. It's been a long time though. How old was Joe when we did that shopping in Toma? Was he just a toddler? And they thought you stole?
Yeah. Well, I had 3 of them. I had 3 sets of plates in a cart, and that was all I had walking out of the store.
Yeah.
I looked like a thief.
You look like a thief.
Obviously, to the Walmart guy, I did.
I was ahead of him with the receipt, and all of a sudden he's like, Jennifer, Jennifer, Jennifer.
I wasn't quite that frantic, but I did yell Jennifer once, quite loud and...
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess they thought he stole them. But anyway, that was a long time ago. Joe's going to be 16, so it was probably... We've had these dishes a long time. I'm amazed we still have 6 plates. So, all of that to say, I've been looking around, and I was looking at Amazon. I've been keeping an eye at Walmart, even Goodwill, thrift stores, things like that. And I saw this set, so I just bought one of each at Dollar General, and I thought we'd just kind of try it out and see if we like it. They're pretty heavy. They're pretty heavy. So we'll see. It's a pretty color, but at the same time, I'm not sure. I'll keep you guys posted on that. Well, now it is time to get these lids over, and I'm going to give them a rinse, and then we are going to get to pressure canning the green beans. So this is my smaller pressure canner, and when you do green beans, you have to use a pressure canner. They do not have enough acidity to them to water bath can, and so anything that is a low acid food has to be pressure canned. I put 2 quarts of water in the bottom of my canner here, and that is just per my canner's instruction booklet. So with a pressure canner will come a very, very detailed instruction guide. You want to read that, and you want to, let me just show you. I have notes written in my canning guide here. I have highlighted my canner so I always know how much water and whatnot has to go into it, and it's just really important to read through your booklet and have it open, have it ready at all times. They're like mine has this, how to pressure can in glass jars, and it gives all of the steps. Most of these steps, you know, they're just things that the more and more you pressure can, you pretty much can just kind of skip past all the way up to like number 10 or number 11 or something, just because like I know all of those steps already. But when you're first starting out, step by step by step is so very important when pressure canning. I'm going to get the lid on here. I have a lot going on in this kitchen. Here is my lid. I'm going to get this in place. Actually, first, I'm just going to check the gasket. You always want to make sure that your gasket is still, I guess, intact. You don't want it to have any cracks or splits in it. And so mine looks good. So I got the lid on, got it put into position. Now I need my weight, which is right here, and I need to do 10 pounds of pressure. I don't need to put that on yet though, but I like to have it ready. So I'm just going to get this set to high. I am going to be waiting now for steam to be pouring out of this little nozzle here, and it, ooh, okay, that wasn't good. That didn't even light. Woo, okay. Well, I was like, why do I smell gas? It's because it didn't light. All right, so let's get that back onto high. It is lit now, and I'm going to wait for steam to come out of the vent here. It has to vent for a solid 10 minutes before putting the weight gauge on. Again, that is all something that will be in your instruction booklet with your canner. Every pressure canner is just a little bit different. This second canner is much bigger, so it needs 3 quarts of water, and then I did actually put in a little vinegar. I forgot to do that in the first canner, but you can add a little bit of vinegar to this, and that is supposed to help prevent white water stains from getting on the outside of your glass jars. Okay, so it's starting to steam out the vent, and so I'm going to set my timer now for 10 minutes. So I don't have to reach across. I'm just going to do this. And I'm also watching this one right here, and it's just barely starting. I can't call that venting yet, so we're going to wait on that one. After 10 minutes, I put the weight on to my smaller canner here, and it took about 10 minutes or so, but the pressure has now built up. And, okay, my battery, of course, died at the most inopportune time. So I think I was saying that I put on the weight here at 10 pounds, and then as soon as it started to rock back and forth, then it was time to, that means it came up to pressure. So I turned the temperature down because I wanted it to just kind of rock, rock, rock about 4 times in a minute. So that would be like 1 rock would be considered rock, rock, rock. And then you want it to give you about maybe 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, rock, 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 that kind of a thing. All right, the other one is also going, and I'm struggling with keeping it at 10 pounds. I have the heat all the way turned down low, and it is climbing here to 15 pounds. I don't want it at 15 pounds, I want it at 10, Actually, with a gauge like this, it's got to be 11. But anyway, I don't have any tips for you right now. I am considering turning the heat off for just 30 seconds or so, just to try to get this to go back down. This one, the timer went off, so I turned the heat off right now, and I'm just going to let it naturally come down in pressure. You want to give it a good amount of time, 20 minutes, before you give a little tap tap to see if any steam releases. If steam releases, that means that there's still pressure built up in there, and you want to give it another 5, 10, 15 minutes. If nothing comes out, if you tap it and it does not go pss, 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 that means you can take that off, you can take the lid off, and you can remove the jars and put them onto a double thickness towel to cool completely. All right, this canner is all done, and for that last minute of time, I did actually turn the heat off, and it was still maintaining 14 pounds of pressure. So I just stood here and watched it to be sure that it wasn't like dropping fast or going obviously below 10, which is not good. You want to maintain at least 10 pounds of pressure for the whole entire time. So all right, I'm just going to let these cool. We are going to have supper. Warren made burgers on the Blackstone, and he also, I cut up an onion, he fried onions. We're just going to have some tomato, we're going to have some ketchup and mustard and some cheeses, and that is going to be it. Just a simple supper. I think we have some Pringles, so I'm pretty sure the kids will have some Pringles along with their burger. All right, look at that. Nothing comes out, so that means it's time for this one to be opened up. When I opened up the canner, I knew immediately I had a jar that had broken, because there was no liquid in this jar, and all of the beans were like sunk to the bottom of the jar. And then as soon as I, like after like a second or whatever, the lid being off, the hot water in here rose, and it started rising right back up into the jar. I knew immediately that the bottom of that jar had broke off. Now, why did it break off? Was there a hairline crack that I missed? You know, I always inspect my jars first. Usually, you know, I hold them up to the light, check for cracks, run my finger along the neck or the mouth of the jar, just to be sure that there aren't any chips or anything. So why did it crack? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't have a good answer, but I just wanted to let you know. I know a lot of people are very, very nervous when it comes to pressure canning. The canners of today are so very safe. I mean, even with a jar breaking like that, it isn't like the lid blows off and you have, you know, pressure, built up pressure, you know, blowing all over your kitchen. Although everybody has a story that they've heard about something like that happening. Usually that was far in the past. But don't give up. Even if you have a jar that breaks, it happens. It happens to seasoned canners, and it happens to new canners as well. It's just something that sometimes happens. Hopefully, when I open up the next canner, though, hopefully everything is good there, because it really is a bummer, because, you know, there was the $2 for the pound of beans that I bought, but then there's all the time. That is what it is. It's the time snipping, and it's just the time, really, is what it is. And you know, you get excited, you count up the number of jars that you're going to have, and then in the end, you're down one, so that's kind of a bummer. Anyway, this is going to have to get carried outside, and I'll dump it into, I'll just dump it into another garbage, because I don't want to deal with it in the house and have glass all over. It didn't shatter. Well, actually, you know, I'm going to lift it up for you guys right now so you can see. It isn't like the jar shatters. What happens, look at the bottom, just broke out. There's the glass bottom right there, and that is what I have happen more often than anything else, is where the bottom just cracks right out. Now this was a ball jar. I mean, it's a good high quality jar. I do have jars that could be, I have jars that you guys could probably be 50 years old or older, because I've gotten my jars from so many places, from my grandma, from my mother-in-law, from let's see, is she an aunt, or not an aunt, but a cousin, you know, just from rummage sales, from other people who are just getting rid of jars and things like that. So it's hard to know how old the jars are. And that could be one of the things too, is that it just simply has run its course. All right, this one is still, yep, see, it's still has some pressure in there, so I'm just going to let it continue to cool. And I do still have 3 jars, so once I get this canner all cleaned up and everything, I'm going to start on these 3 jars. And I just heard a jar seal. I see that this one is sealed already. These, I can tell that the little like button is still up on all of those, on those 5, but this one is down. You can see it's depressed right there, and I heard it when I was talking to you guys. I heard it do the little telltale seal snap. And so you don't want to touch these jars, especially the lid, until they are fully cool. You just don't want to. You don't want to disturb that. It still is, this is still part of the preserving process right here, is the cooling and the sealing of the lid.
Parts of the canner would be in theme song plays.
All right, I just turned off the canner. This has the last 3 quarts in it. When I took the jars out of my tall canner, I'll turn it around, all of those jars came out perfectly. So I have the first 6 here because, you know, 1 broke, and then I have the 7 from the second canner. They all worked out just perfectly. And let me just see if everything, I still see one that looks like it hasn't sealed, but oh, those 2 still need to seal, and so I don't want to touch them. But that is the sound that you are going for, that ting, ting, ting. After this is cool, if I tap on this one and it makes like a hollow sound, like a real dull, flat, hollow sound, that means that it's not sealed. I will put that in the refrigerator and we will eat it within the next 48 hours. But I'm assuming these 2 are going to seal. They just sometimes take a little while in the cooling down process for them to actually snap into position. I am waiting for this one to cool down completely, and then, or to, you know, pressure down completely. Then I'll take those last 3 jars out. I just rinsed out my big pot over here. I like to just rinse it right away and be done with it. Then it can dry. It'll be ready for the next canning project, which I'm not exactly sure what the next canning project is going to be. I did see a recipe for kind of like a sort of a chicken soup type of a recipe. It's kind of like a chicken starter. It has onions, carrots, celery, chicken, and then your salt, pepper, garlic, maybe a little bit of parsley or something like that. So I might do something like that. That seemed like it would be a really good thing to just open up, add maybe another jar of my chicken bone broth with it, add some salt, a little extra salt and pepper, you know, basically just season it to taste, and then throw in some egg noodles. Can make a super, super fast lunch. I'm kind of thinking about doing something like that. Not 100% sure if I'm going to do that. That may not be the next one. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Kind of all over the place again, but I really wanted to share some canning with you guys again. It feels like it's been a while, and I was starting to feel honestly a little sad this summer because I was like, I don't have the garden. I don't have a garden. I'm not going to be doing much canning. And then the blackberries is so awesome right now, and that just like fueled my fire. I'm like, I am making blackberry jam or blackberry spread. And then that got me excited about cranberries, and then it got me excited about the green beans. I couldn't stop myself, and I bought all the green beans and at the first table at the farmer's market. So back to canning, and it feels so good. I have been so happy today. I love canning. It's just such a, it just feels, to me, it just feels like, it feels like summer. It actually kind of feels like the end of summer. We still have a good month to go before we get fully wrapped up into the school year and everything. But that is for another video, right? we will see you guys soon, and I hope that you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks. Bye.